While industry has always been strong, Season 3 is particularly strong. Mattino è l'oro in bocca, which translates to the morning has gold in its mouth in Italian, is the first episode and is a tour de force of a premiere that features a few memorable scenes that are among the finest of the program ever, particularly a coked-out dialogue with two meanings that should win. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, Ken Leung and Emmy. Let's break down everything that happened in this episode in easy-to-understand layman's words on a macro level. There is a lot going on in this episode, and a lot of it is tied to Season 2. The most important thing to remember in this situation is that Peppoint is attempting to go green, a private equity tactic that some of the establishment financiers have referred to as woke investing or greenwashing, as it increases the value of progressive, forward-thinking businesses. Obviously, the irony is that they are only doing this for financial gain, but in theory, the businesses and the people they support stand to gain as well. One such example is LUMI, a green energy company led by Sir Henry Mook, a very wealthy and slightly insane tech bro played by Kit Harington. When the premiere really gets going, LUMI is about to go public with Pierpoint's backing, which makes for a killer, a ticking clock device, as everyone with a vested interest waits to see the opening share price. As previously mentioned, this affects pretty much everyone, so let's break it down character by character. The good news is that Eric has finally found love, but the bad news is that he's losing control both personally and professionally. One of the first things his fellow higher-ups tell Eric is that he needs to fire someone without cause in order to demonstrate his ability to make difficult decisions. This is another issue that looms large throughout the entire episode, as he has several suitable candidates but ultimately selects the most cunning and least obvious candidate. After his wife left, Eric turned to Kenny for support. He had a surprisingly good relationship with Kenny, but it didn't take long for Eric to fall off the wagon, resume drinking, and indulge in cocaine for the first time since 9/11. In a heart-to-heart with Yasmine, whom he drags into debauchery with him, we discover that Eric feels a little guilty about revealing his vulnerable side to Kenny. We can also see that he still has a morbid fascination with Harper, which will be revealed when he arrives on the trading floor the following morning, just before LUMI is set to hit the stock exchange, where his wife has dropped off the kids he hasn't seen in weeks. He dismisses Kenny rather than Yasmin or Robert as he had originally meant. "I am a man. I am relentless," he tells himself as he searches for a babysitter for his children. Yasmin has essentially taken Harper's place as the main character in Industry Season 3. And Episode 1 puts her through a lot of hardships. When we first see Yasmin, 6 weeks prior, in the prologue, she is on her father's party yacht, Lady Yasmin, where she spots the elderly man in the 69th position with a deckhand who is expecting. She leaves feeling disgusted, though a later flashback suggests that something even more traumatic than what she saw may have happened right away. Back in London, Yaz is being pursued by the press because her dad vanished and she is now responsible for his long-term embezzlement. Her job is in jeopardy, her reputation is ruined, and she is barely hanging on. Consequently, the moment she gets back, a call from a LUMI investor arriving at work. He overhears a conversation in which it is revealed that LUMI may have been manipulating the books just before going public. Kenny and Eric ultimately choose to play this down, even though the accusations are true, in the hopes of selling shares for a huge profit on opening day. Later, Henry Mook calls Yaz on her private number, which he claims he obtained from Robert, even though Robert insists he gave him her work number, and invites her to meet him. She accepts, and he begins playing fives, which is essentially squash played with gloved hands.